All right. Afternoon, everyone. So, can somebody confirm me if I am audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. All right. So, in our previous video, we have started the third module, that is entrepreneur and entrepreneurship. We have seen the meaning of entrepreneur. We have also seen the characteristics of an entrepreneur, the functions of entrepreneur. Okay. And today, let's see the the different types of entrepreneur. Now, herein again, different authors have differentiated entrepreneurs in their own way. The first author to do so was Clarence Stanoff. Here's his one classification. Then we have Arthur H. Cole classification. The next one is classification based on the scale of the enterprise, and at the last, it is other classifications. So one by one, we'll look into these classifications and what they meant. Still have people pouring in here. All right. Okay. All right. So let us see the first classification, that is Clarence Stanoff's classification. Now he classifies entrepreneurs into four different types of entrepreneur. The first one is innovative entrepreneur. The second one is adaptive or imitative entrepreneur. The third one is Fabian entrepreneur, and the last one is drone entrepreneurs. Right, so let us see, who do we call innovative entrepreneurs? Now, this category of entrepreneurs is characterized by a smell of innovativeness. This type of entrepreneur sends the opportunities for introduction of new ideas, new technology, discovery of new markets, and creating new organizations. Such entrepreneur can work only when certain level of development is already achieved and people look forward to change and improve. Such entrepreneurs are very much helpful for their country because they bring about transformation in lifestyle. To put it in very simple words, one who is An innovator is nothing but a person who innovates something new. It may be in the form of a product, it may be in the form of a process or discovering new market. It could be anything that is new. Okay. So such entrepreneurs are termed as innovative entrepreneurs. Uh, the next one is adaptive or imitative entrepreneur. Now these entrepreneurs imitate the existing entrepreneur and set the enterprise in the same manner. Instead of innovation, may just adopt the technology and methods innovated by others. Such types of entrepreneurs are particularly suitable for underdeveloped countries for imitating the new combination of production already available in developed countries. So basically, here the entrepreneur, you know, does nothing new, but adopts or imitates others. Okay, someone who has done something new, I just copy him or follow him, makes me an innovative, or sorry, makes me an imitative entrepreneur because I'm copying other person's ideas, other person's technology, other person's product, and similarly many more. Okay, so such entrepreneurs are called as adaptive or imitative entrepreneurs. The third one is a Fabian entrepreneur. Now, Fabian entrepreneurs are characterized by great caution and skepticism in experimenting any change in their enterprises. They imitate only when it becomes perfectly clear that failure to do so would result in a loss of their relative position in the enterprises. Now, Fabian is a word used for a person who is very cautious, who is very skeptical. Now, he doesn't do anything unless he's satisfied to 100%. Okay, whatever steps that he takes that with great cautiousness. Okay, so Fabian entrepreneurs are those who are very reluctant to changes in their enterprises, or very cautious to changes, and they do so only when they are perfectly perfectly comfortable or comprehend the changes that they are about to bring in their enterprises. The next one is drone entrepreneurs. Now, these entrepreneurs are conservative or orthodox in outlook. They always feel comfortable with the old fashioned technology of production, even though the technologies have changed. They never like to get rid of the traditional business, traditional machineries, and traditional system of business doing, even at the cost of reduced returns. Right, so drone entrepreneurs are those who are not comfortable with the changes in their enterprises. They believe in the old style of doing business. They believe in their own machinery, old machineries, even when different enterprises are using modern technology, modern machineries, equipments. Okay, so they are not comfortable with that. They are very traditional in their approach and orthodox too, and hence they are very much comfortable in their old-fashioned way of doing business, even that meant reduced returns for them. All right. So these are the classification of Clorins Danav's classification. Now let us see the next one. The next one is Arthur H. Cole classification. Now here the Arthur H. Cole classifies us entrepreneurs as empirical, rational, and cognitive. Now let's see what what the author meant by empirical, rational, and cognitive. Now, who is an empirical entrepreneur? Now, he is an entrepreneur who hardly introduces anything revolutionary and follows the principle of rule of thumb. Now, here, empirical means following already proved ways of doing business, or not introducing something new, or not too comfortable with any of the changes uh, that is about to bring in the enterprises. So he here the entrepreneur hardly introduces anything revolutionary. That means he does not introduce anything that is new, and he just follows the principle rule of thumb. That means old way of doing business. Okay, so such entrepreneurs are called as empirical entrepreneurs. The next one is rational entrepreneurs. The rational entrepreneur is well informed about the general economic condition and introduces changes which look more revolutionary. Now, the term rational means practical. Okay, so when an entrepreneur is practical, or in general, if a person is practical, then he is very sensitive to the changes around him. He's a well informed person. So here, an entrepreneur is well informed about the economic conditions and he introduces changes accordingly, which of course becomes revolutionary. That is, revolutionary in the sense something which the world has not witnessed. That becomes rational. The next one is cognitive entrepreneurs. Now, cognitive entrepreneur is well informed, draws upon the advice and services of experts, and introduces the changes that reflect complete break from the existing scheme of enterprises. Cognitive again here means cautious. Okay, um, taking decisions only after having the concrete information. So that makes a person cognitive. So here also, an entrepreneur is well informed, and it depends on the advices and services of the expert in the different field of doing business. And then he reflects the changes, and then he brings about the changes in the enterprise building, which is completely new of what the world has ever witnessed, and hence become revolutionary. Right. So these are the three different classifications of Arthur H. Cole. Empirical, who does not bring any changes, believes in following rule of thumb. Rational, you know, well informed, and brings in the changes, which of course becomes very revolutionary. Cognitive, again here it means cautious or well informed. Now here the entrepreneur is well informed, seeks the advice and services of the expert in different fields of doing business, and introduce the changes if necessary that becomes revolutionary and becomes revolutionary. Right. So this is the classification of Arthur H. Cole. Now, classification based on the scale of enterprise. So here there can be only two classifications. One is a small scale enterprise, the other one is the large scale enterprise. Let us see what is a small scale enterprise or a small scale entrepreneur in general. The entrepreneur do not possess the necessary talents and resources to initiate large scale production and to introduce revolutionary technological changes. So, small scale in the sense it may be in the form of the investment. If you do not have too much of investment, then your enterprise could be, you know, scaled scaled as a small scale industry, or it could be the number of employees that you have in an organization. If they are limited to certain numbers, then the enterprise or the organization or the industry could be termed as small scale. So basically, it's like a startup. Like here, the entrepreneur or a person who starts it is a newcomer. Okay, he does not have the the resources. He does not have the investment to scale his small scale industry to a large scale industry. Okay, and he does not have the changes to which are revolutionary, which are something new. Right. Next one is large scale. They possess the necessary financial and other resources to initiate and introduce new technological changes. They possess talent in research and development facilities. So large scale again, now these are the entrepreneurs who are strong financially or well connected. They have a strong network in the market. Okay, and you know they don't hesitate in experimenting new technologies. Okay, since they are financially strong, they could buy any technology they wish to buy. They could introduce something new for a process, right? They could, make many, many of the changes which they wish to do. Now, let us see the other classifications. Okay. So here are the classifications which are totally different from those what we have looked so far. Now, the first classification is solo operators, as the name itself indicates. These are the entrepreneurs who essentially work alone, introduce their own capital, and if essential, employ very few employees. In the beginning, most of the entrepreneurs start their enterprises like them, like solo entrepreneurs. All right, the next one is active partners. Now, such entrepreneurs jointly put in their effort and resources. They actively participate in managing the daily routine of the business concern. Entrepreneurs who only contribute their funds but not actively participate in the business are called simply partners. Now, here, they start an industry or an enterprise or an organization together. They put in their investment, they put in their efforts in building up the organization. Okay? They put in the efforts as well as the investment. But someone who only puts in the investment and not the efforts is simply termed as partner. If you want to be an active partner, then you have to be both the investor as well as the worker. Alright. The next one is inventors. Such entrepreneurs are creative in character and feel happy in inventing new products, technologies, and methods of production. Their basic interest lies in research and innovative activities. I mean, inventors are nothing but someone who introduces something new into the business. These people are always in a search of bringing some changes to their organization. They're more concentrated on the research and innovative or inventive activities. The next one is challenge. According to such entrepreneurs, if there is no challenge in life, there is no charm in life. Such entrepreneurs plunge into industry or business because of the challenges it presents. When one challenge seems to be met, they begin to look for new challenges. They convert odds and adversities into opportunities and make profit. Alright, so challenge entrepreneurs are nothing but they love challenges. If there is no challenge, if then they are not motivated, right? They are into this entrepreneurship just because of the challenges that the field presents to them. If one challenge is met, they are in search of the other challenge. Okay? So such entrepreneurs are called as challenge entrepreneurs. The next one is buyers. Now, these are the entrepreneurs who do not like to face the hassles of building infrastructure and other facilities. They simply purchase the existing one and by using their experience and expertise try to run the enterprise successfully. Now, buyers are not someone who builds the organization. In fact, they buy the organization. They buy the existing organization, then put in their experience and expertise to the fore and try to build in a successful organization. Okay. You might have heard that one company takes over the other company. Okay, the company which takes over the other company becomes the buyers, right? So similarly, someone who does that becomes a buyer entrepreneur. The next one is lifetimers. Now, for such entrepreneurs, take business as an integral point of their life. Family enterprises, which mainly depend on exercise of personal skill, fall in this category. So lifetimers. Okay. So they start their business and they dedicate their life in running the organization, especially the family businesses. Okay. So they are the lifetimers. They just don't do it discreetly. It's a continuous process for them. Okay, it's an integral point in their life. The next one is industrial entrepreneurs. Now, such entrepreneurs are engaged in manufacturing and selling of products. Someone who manufactures and sells a product becomes an industrial entrepreneur. The next one is service entrepreneur. Now, such entrepreneurs engage in service activities like repair, consultancy, beauty parlor, etc., where entrepreneurs provide service to people. Okay, service entrepreneur is someone who provide the service to customers and in return of it he receives the amount of money or whatever you want to call it as. Okay, it's a reward for the service to the society. Now, some of the examples are repair shop, a beauty parlor, a, a saloon, etc. Right? Someone who just provide a service and in return he gets the money. The next one is business entrepreneurs. Now, who are business entrepreneurs? They are also called as trading entrepreneurs who buy and sell the goods. A business entrepreneur is simple. Buy a product from one person at some price and sell the same good to the other person at the other price and save profit to himself or herself makes you a business entrepreneur. The next one is agricultural entrepreneur. These people engage themselves in agricultural activities like horticulture, floriculture, animal husbandry, poultry, etc. Someone who's involved in these activities is termed as agricultural entrepreneur. The next one is corporate entrepreneurs. The corporate entrepreneurs undertake their business activities under legally registered company or trust. So basically, a corporate entrepreneur is someone who runs his organization, okay, as per the rules of the government. Because if you're a registered company, that makes that you abide by the rules of the government of that state or country. The next one is The next one is rural entrepreneurs. So entrepreneurs selecting rural-based industry opportunity in either khadi or village industry sector or in farm and entrepreneurship are regarded as rural entrepreneurs. According to Khadi and Village Industry Commission, village or rural industry means any industry located in rural area, population of which do not exceed 10,000, which produces any goods or services in which fixed investment of an artisan or worker does not exceed 1,000 rupees. Okay, so basically, a rural entrepreneur is an entrepreneur who locates or establishes his organization in the rural area, wherein the population is no more than 10,000, and where the investment of an entrepreneur is not beyond 1,000 rupees. Now, these are the older definitions. We have to look into the newer definition of the rural entrepreneurs. Okay. Now, the next one is women entrepreneurs. According to the Government of India, an entrepreneur is defined as as an enterprise owned and controlled a, by 16 a woman and having minimum financial interest of 51% of the capital and giving at least 51% of the employment generated in the enterprise to women. Women entrepreneurs play an important role in the economy, especially in rural areas. A women entrepreneur are those entrepreneurs wherein more than the 50%, or to be exact, 51% or more of the employment is given to women. And not only that, in the organization, if they have 51% of or more financial interest, then such entrepreneurs are called as women entrepreneurs. All right, so these are the classifications of entrepreneurs by different authors, some general classification, some classification that are based on the scale of the enterprise. Okay. So I think we can end our class here now. But before we wind up, okay, if you have any question for me, if you have any doubts, you may uh, you may just put a message in the chat box. If somebody has any doubt, any query, any question, if somebody wants me to elaborate on any of the concept, you know, please post your query in the chat box. Sir, Adri? Huh? Alright, if you do not have any query, please post it so in the chat box stating that you do not have any query. Yep. May I have a reply? Yeah, thank you. I want everyone to reply for us. If you do not have any queries, please write it as that you do not have any queries. Alright, looks like oh, it looks like nobody has a doubt or any kind of a query. Right, if it is so, then let's wind up session here itself. Okay. So thank you very much for joining the interactive class. Have a wonderful day and God bless you. Thank you.